Making Revit content is a question of being careful and in your intentions. If you notice, this is a desk, obviously. It's a stock desk family. It comes with Revit, has for a long time. When I select the tabletop here, you'll find that when I look at the visibility settings, that it's set so that it shouldn't show in plan view, and it should show at all detail levels, etc. The issue with this is that when I go to ground floor plan of the family itself and take a closer look, I'll find that the reference plane that governs the edge of our desk is set to right for is reference, and it has a name of right, which this means it's a strong reference. That means it's what Revit's going to use for alignment and dimensioning purposes and so forth in the project environment. The issue here is that the desktop is actually larger than the size of our desk. The question is, what's your intent? If you intend for a desk that has a tabletop that's 5 feet wide, then this thing is clearly not going to work. And if I switch to the project environment and put these two desks together and put them next to a wall, when I use the align tool to line these desks up, I get this condition where one desk is physically overlapping another, while in plan view the condition looks fine. Go to wireframe, whatever, I'm not going to see the fact that the desk tabletop is overlapping into the wall and over onto another desk because Revit's told not to show the tabletop. Now, from a schematic design layout perspective, maybe that's just fine. But the reality is at some point someone's going to look at it in 3D and see this, and then they're going to wonder why did I align these things? Why aren't they lining up properly? And fundamentally, it goes back to the initial question, which is, what did you intend to do when you built the family? Does 5 feet mean from edge to edge of the tabletop, or is it from the chassis of the desk that the tabletop sits on? And that goes back to who's making it. And when they say how big a desk is, what does the size really mean? And in some cases, the manufacturer's numbers are nominal values. Usually they're worst case, largest size kind of thing, but it varies. I have run into things where the number they're using does represent sort of the nominal chassis size, and the tabletop is a nearly 5 foot value. So the desk might be modeled very accurately. However, the tools that are available for us to align this thing in the project environment aren't representing what we really want. So this one might be perfectly valid in terms of defining its overall size, but maybe we need another reference plane so we can actually align it edge to edge properly. It's not hard to add another reference plane, or maybe this tabletop should be visible, and then you need a dashed line so you can see the chassis underneath. It really comes down to what you need. You've got to think these things through so that when you get the families in the project environment, your users aren't confounded by what they find. Hope it helps.